black is white, inside out, wrong is right, back to front and I'm all uptight. I've just come back from fantasy, right back to reality. Stay away too long but now I'm found. My world is turning upside down. I don't fit in but I don't stand out. I should stay cool but I wanna shout. East is west, left is right, up is down and black is white, inside out, wrong is right, back to front and I'm all uptight.
How is it black? This concept is
A parade. It's because Santa Claus needs a new sleigh and all that, and that it just bothers me as a as a person living in Winnipeg, how badly even the Winnipeg government, spends their money. It's mind blowing. So, apparently the events board and the events board of directors said yesterday they're short $68,000 needed to build a new float, Santa Claus float, and pay and other costs for the parade, probably for security costs, blocking off certain sections of Portage. Makes sense. It's really disappointing because the parade has been going on since 1909, and it's now 2018, and it's on the verge of being canceled. So they opened a GoFundMe page. I'm gonna post a link in my descriptions for my show. Because honestly, every kid needs to go to the Santa Claus parade. It's like their God-given right. They come out of the womb, they need to go to the Santa Claus parade. It's an experience, and it's a way for them to, live in a fantasy realm. So, with that, and it's kind of weird because when you think about it, it's only September and they're already worried about not having the funds for the Santa Claus parade because they're short $68,000. A lot of shit can happen in a month. Trust me, a lot of shit can go down in a month. Too much shit can go down in a month. It's fucked up. But that's the way the world works. It's really crazy, and I just, again, find it completely ridiculous that they're short money. The board of directors are short $68,000. What the fuck do they spend their money on, if not on the Santa Claus parade? Which, as the board of directors, you make sure all the money goes to the Santa Claus parade. If you need to update Santa Claus's sleigh, you use the money that you have set aside from the Winnipeg, budget committee, and you use that money. I think they have like $100,000 that they need to use. How are they short $68,000? How much does a parade actually fucking cost? I don't know. I don't want to look it up because I'm lazy. That requires research. So I'll go to my own theory of guessing. It doesn't cost all that much. It costs, I'd say, under $250,000 to throw a parade. I kind of wanted just to block off Portage and have a parade dedicated to myself, but then somebody told me that would be egotistical, narcissistic, and pretty much borderline sociopathic. And I said this. Everybody needs to know who I am. But no, that's the thing. I don't know how much a parade actually costs. Maybe during my clip, the first clip I play, I'll actually do some research and I'll find out how much parade actually costs and I'll let you guys know. But again, go to GoFundMe, Winnipeg Santa Claus Parade, and help save, I guess, a holiday tradition since 1909.
I'd like to welcome everybody back from summer vacation to another exciting semester of class. Before we get started, did anyone have any exciting stories they wanted to share about their summer breaks?
Well, Mom and Dad's divorce isn't going so well.
And I see that Stephen is back again this year. Hello, Stephen.
Things are getting pretty ugly, and Dad lost his job because he showed up at Mom's house, which is against the law.
That's great, Stephen. That's great.
Dad also has to go to court because he beat up one of Mom's boyfriends at the gas station, but it was okay because Mom had 4 different boyfriends this summer, and they all stayed over.
Wonderful, Stephen.
Dad says she's really showing her true colors, and he wouldn't be surprised if she dies of AIDS.
Stephen, maybe this isn't the best conversation for us to be having in the middle of class.
You know, I thought about that, but then my psychiatrist said I should talk about it whenever I can, and since you guys are really the only family I have left, it's kind of like I'm confiding in my comfort circle.
I can't believe I have another year of this.
The big question right now is who I'm going to live with. Mom and Dad are both accusing each other of substance abuse and endangering the welfare of a child, and to be honest, they both have solid cases.
Did anyone else do anything special over break? Sam.
Well, my parents brought me out to Montauk.
Oh my God, that sounds so nice. The last time my parents went anywhere together is because my dad tried to kidnap my mom and take her to Louisiana against her will.
Stephen, I would like to hear from the other students now. Darren.
Yeah, I also went to the beach and I asked my girlfriend to marry me and she said yes because I'm 26 years old and in law school.
Wow, that's really nice, Darren, but you shouldn't marry her if she only said yes because you're in law school, because it's really not enough foundation to make a marriage last. And trust me, it is really hard to make a marriage last in today's times. What with conflicting schedules, financial burdens, crystal meth.
Stephen!
How does he get good grades?
I don't know, but he is a borderline genius when it comes to nuptial contracts and estate settlements.
Hey, you guys want to hear a song I wrote about my parents?
No!
Well, my mom hates my dad, and my dad hates my mom, and my mom hates my dad, and my dad hates my mom, but I hope they get together again someday. But I don't think they will because my mom shot my dad's car.
Son of a bitch, Stephen.
I forgot how hilarious that show is. That's from the Whitest Kids You Know. If you look them up on YouTube. There's so many good clips with it's kind of like a sketch comedy. It was a TV show, but due to content, they got canceled. So they went viral, and all their videos are on YouTube. So check them out. It's the Whitest Kids You Know. Just type in WKUK, and you'll find all the great videos from the clips that I'm playing. But if oh my god. Another thing about the Whitest Kids You Know, they actually came out with a movie called Miss March. I'll find some clips, I'll play them probably on tomorrow's show. But it's a classic movie. Graduation, prom, kids go to a house party. Kid thinks he's gonna fucking nail his high school girlfriend. Winds up getting completely sloshed and falling down the stairs and cracking his head and wind up in a coma. And hilarity ensues because his best friend is actually Trevor Moore. And Trevor Moore is... honestly, I don't know how he's not more popular for his comedy. He is a hilarious human being. And I'm insanely jealous of him because I wanted to play the asshole card. No, Trevor Moore, he's a great comedian. You can even find his television, comedy show that he did I think it was about 2 years ago, called High in Church. And there's a cameo at the beginning of the show by none other than Dave Foley from Kids in the Hall, who went on to have moderate success in TV series. So he was in News Radio after, he was always in News Radio. It's sad because the show got canceled because they brought in John Lovitz, but the only reason why John Lovitz came in was because Phil Hartman was murdered. And Phil Hartman is one of, I would love to say he is one of my favorite comedians, but I have so many favorite comedians. There's George Carlin, Robin Williams, Phil Hartman, Adam Sandler, David Spade, Dana Carvey, Richard Pryor. They all go on. The list just goes on and on. Like, I have so many good comedians out there, but not a lot of Canadian comedians. Like, there's Tom Green and Jim Carrey, but other than that, there's not really a lot of good comedians in Canada. Well, Tim Nutt is another good one, another good Canadian comedian that I enjoy. All about realism, and he speaks the truth. Even though the world's a fucked up place, he'll still say that. Yeah, fucked up. It's a fucked up place because we made it fucked up. All right, so I'm stretching. I'm still waking up. Oh fuck. And it's great too because I love comedy, and so this journey that I'm on is gonna be it's a new stage. Like, this is just fucked up and weird for me because when people say, "Oh, I'm gonna go into podcasting," they'll sit there and be like, "Okay, what I'm gonna discuss." See, I go for originality, I go for uniqueness, so I discuss absolutely fucking everything in my show. If you couldn't tell already, I mean, we're on episode 18. And I'm surprised I'm actually following through with this because a lot of my friends will say when it comes to follow through, I procrastinate. And I'll sit there and I'll be like, I used to be one of those people that would be there and sit there and be like, okay, should I do this, this, or this? And I'll sit there and I'll like have a fucking timeline of what I want to have my show sound like, and I'll sit there and fucking whittle it down to basically nothing, where there is actually no humor to it, but I'm talking out of my ass basically by that point. But now I'll sit a day before, work on my jokes, work on my material, watch some comedy clips from my favorite comedians, the ones that I've already mentioned, and try to find some newer ones to basically ridicule. Not ridicule, because I don't get a chance to heckle, and it's kind of fucking weird when I'm sitting there watching YouTube on the TV, and I'm sitting there heckling the freaking TV. Guy can't fucking hear me, but I'm heckling him anyway. You suck! Yeah. And that's the one thing I don't want to do, like, go into stand-up, like, do stand-up comedy and have somebody say, "Oh, you're terrible. Why don't you try something else? You suck. You don't know what you're fucking talking about, stand-up boy." Yeah. So, eventually I'll be going and trying to do stand-up comedy. I just want to see how well I'm received on air before I show the world my face. My dad always said I had a face for radio. True story.